Should Bungie bring back flawless matchmaking? So my last Destiny video, people were really having a deep discussion about the game, whether or not it's the player's fault or Destiny's fault for why PvP ended up like this. Go check that video out if you haven't already. Leave a like, appreciate it. Some messages were positive, some were toxic. I appreciate the healthy, positive convos people had. The toxic comments, y'all gotta go out and enjoy life more and develop better social skills, man. It's just a game and a bunch of players having a deep discussion about the game with a variety of opinions. Relax. But in my last video, I spoke on how me and my clan was in trials for a while to go flawless because of sweaty players in the mix, and despite me enjoying the competitive environment, I want to be fair and speak on the downside of things. First things first, what was flawless matchmaking? Flawless matchmaking, in case some of you didn't know, was a pool of players that went flawless in trials for the weekend. Meaning, once you went flawless, you were thrown into matchmaking against players that also went flawless for that weekend. Sound like a sweat fest, right? But what Bungie did was allow the adept weapon of that week to drop after matches in there in case you were in the flawless pool and was trying to grind for a god roll of the weapon. It was a win-win situation. The sweats got to keep playing trials after going flawless and was being rewarded for doing it as well. Not only that, it kept the sweats from farming players that haven't gone flawless yet. When me and my clan was playing, we kept going against the same players over and over again, and most of them had been flawless already, including myself. So it made it harder to go flawless because almost every match we did were against players that had already been flawless. So there were hardly ever any easy matches for us against lower skilled players. Recently, Bungie went back to Destiny 1 days where no matter how many wins you got on your trials passage, you can go against anyone in trials. You can be on your last win and go against a team that has no wins on their card, and vice versa. You can start your trial passage and get put against the most sweatiest team that's already warmed up and on their last win, or worse, already been flawless. Without a flawless pool and Bungie taking away passage win matchmaking feels like extreme RNG, especially as a solo player since freelance mode has been taking out the game as well. You could be a solo player and get put up against a duo team, and you was either lucky or unlucky to be with the duo team you got paired with. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about being forced to play against other fire teams when you're in a fire team because the player base is so small these days. Most of the sweaty players are only in fire teams, making you have to sweat every match most of the time. Sometimes I solo queue trials simply because I don't feel like sweating my balls off with team comp and callouts all day. And that don't even help all the time, because literally, I kid you not, I went into a checkmate countdown rush match today, and Bungie literally matched me up with all solo players against a full stack fire team. I didn't even know it was possible. Cool, no issue with me. I'm used to that since D1 days, until they started farming my teammates. No, I don't mean they were just killing them a lot. I mean the stack fire team was supposed to be planting the bomb because they was on offense, this countdown rush, and they literally camped the bomb without planting it and just kept killing my teammates. They wasn't even trying to win the round. They were literally just camping the last bomb after they got the first bomb, so they already got 1 point over us in the rounds. They was camping the last bomb and literally was farming my teammates for their KD. They wasn't even playing objective. I seen that they were doing it. I seen they were doing it, and I immediately left. This is not Call of Duty Safeguard game mode, okay? You're not gonna be killing me trying to farm your goddamn KD, okay? With some casual solos on my team. Nah. But matchmaking has become extreme RNG these days in Destiny, to the point it determines whether or not you win or lose. You have to get put on a team with god-awful players, and Bungie expect you to carry them while going against a balanced, competent team, or you get put on an amazing team against trash players. There's no in-between. There's rarely ever any balanced matches in PvP these days. I remember playing the recent Iron Banner, and it was always the same. We mercy rule the opponent, then we get matchmate against a godly team, and we get mercy ruled, and then matchmaking finds a new team for us to mercy, rinse, wash, and repeat. It even hard to hop in a 3v3 game mode these days. because someone either leave the opposing team early or your team early. It's hard to get a balanced, good match going on. I literally just got done playing an elimination match where the 2 players on my team had a 0.5 KD. I'm talking 0 kills, and the other one had like 2 kills. While I was carrying them, and the opposing team had a guy on there with an 8.5 KD, while his teammates had like a 0.7, 0.5 KD. I lost the match. It was like we won 3 rounds, they had 5 rounds. I lost the match with a 2.5 KD. Every round started with my teammates dying immediately with 0 damage dealt and me having to 1v3 all our round wins. Won 3 rounds, but I can only do so many 1v3s, okay? Like, golly! My point is this game matchmaking is very flawed right now. Just because one player's stats is high does not mean put them on a team of casuals and force them to carry them. Carry said casuals and say the game is balanced. Just bring connection-based matchmaking back so the players are purely random based on connection and not skill. If skill-based matchmaking is so important, at least change how you balance a team of skill. We don't need, I've been talking like Dragon Ball Z lingo with power levels. We don't need a skill level 800 player on a team full of skill level 200 players and say the team is balanced. Put skill level 500 players against other 500 skill level players, or close the skill gap margin. Put skill level 800 player on a team full of 600 skill level players on the team, so the 800 skill level player don't feel like he have to carry these blueberries and see blueberry activities the whole match. But that's just my opinion. What do y'all think in the comment section below? Do you all think there will ever be an optimal middle ground for matchmaking in Destiny? And let me be clear. I know Bungie took away flawless matchmaking in freelance because it was thinning out the player base and made matchmaking very long before finding a match. It was like 5 to 10 minutes wait time. It was ridiculous. But I think taking out freelance would have solved that issue enough. I don't think they should have took away flawless pool from trials. I truly believe flawless pool is needed in order for lesser skilled players to enjoy trials more and go flawless playing against more players around their skill range, since once people go flawless, they get thrown to the flawless pool, making it that it's less sweats inside the regular pool, giving the casual players a higher chance to go flawless for that week, and then they can leave the match, they can leave trials after they go flawless. You know what I'm saying? Bungie gotta understand, there's tryhards in this game that play trials just to play trials, even after going flawless. They just live and breathe elimination. They spend hours throughout the day playing matches over and over again in there, not for the loot, not for the reputation, just for the sport. And I don't think leaving normal elimination open during trials weekend solved that problem, because even though they don't care about the loot, they might as well get their reputation while in trials. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you all think. Let me know what y'all can think and solve the matchmaking issue in the game in the comment section down below, because let's be honest, right now it's RNG on whether or not you're gonna win or lose a match in trials as a solo player. You either get put with good teammates or you get put with bad teammates. That's just how it is with the horrible matchmaking. Bungie expect you to carry a team, or Bungie put you on a team that can carry you. That's basically what it is right now. And if people don't understand how Bungie skill-based matchmaking work, basically, let's say both teams got to equal to 1,000 skill points. I'm just gonna say power level. Let's say both teams got to equal up to 1,000 power level. If one team got a player on there that is 800 power level, the rest of the team gonna be 50 power level to equate to 100 power level for that team to be considered balanced on the skill-based matchmaking that Bungie is doing right now. While the other team may have a 500 power level player on there, meaning Bungie gonna add more 100 or 150 power level players on this team to equate to 1,000. Problem there is, if the 800 power level player ain't sweating his balls off, he is at a disadvantage, he or she is at a disadvantage, because they have less skilled players on their team and they can only do so much for their team in a 6v6 environment or a 3v3 environment. Meaning the other team can work together. As long as they more competent enough with their teamwork, they can still beat that higher player because of the higher player having worse teammates. Or vice versa can happen. that 800 power level player is playing his butt off, so the opposite team can't even do anything because he's a sweat and his skill is way higher than compared to the other people on the opposite team. Even though that sweat has some horrible teammates, he is good enough to carry his full team. So he is carrying them and the other team ain't able to do anything. So on paper, it sounds like a balanced team because the stats equate to 1,000 on both sides, but the players in the individual players, their skill sets aren't equal. So the skill based matchmaking that Bungie doing right now is flawed. It is very flawed. I would rather stick to connection based, where I would rather stick to the RNG and connection based. So at least with connection based, I can either have a good teammate or a bad teammate, and at least I know it's not based off of skill. It's based on his connection. At least I know that person not lagging in the middle of a match that we see all the time. At least I know the net code will be almost 100% instead of being, you know, off the margin and getting melee wrong or delayed melee or whiffing your melee or again you feel like you got shot behind a wall, but because of the net code different. I would rather have connection based. But let me know what y'all think down below. I love having conversations with you guys. Can't wait to hear what y'all experience is with the matchmaking in trials and matchmaking in general in this game. And until next time, stay up.